easily one of the most vetoed maps in a regular map pool. It's Foxtrot Labs. We don't get to see this one often, but the fact that we're seeing this in the ace match of a PvZ is really intriguing. We'll talk about that more in a second, but spawning here in the top right corner of the map, representing Millennium, we have the blue Protoss, Lilbow.
The bottom left as the red Zerg, it's Solar.
Alright, so I actually think these are better, like the best case spawn locations for Lilbow's sake. I mean, this is a map where you can take a third on, so that's kind of good for Solar as well. He's one of the few Zerg players who in the other spawn locations would dip out for that gold rather boldly, but with the pressure Lilbow's been putting on, I'd say the map benefits Solar at the same time. I mean, this is actually best case scenario spawns, I feel, for both players.
So then it's no best case scenario.
I know all of her moves, thus I have the advantage.
Yes.
I mean, how many times have we seriously, like, I'm thinking back to Stork, I'm thinking back to Life, every time we're on Foxtrot Labs and it's the other spawns, laying all ins, big floods, hard to hold gateway wall ins. I mean, this map could be all sorts of awkward for both players.
I still think Lig flows are just like good on this map no matter where you spawn. I also think they're good on any map, so that's like total bias right there.
Yeah, I always think back to Departure versus Parting on Overgrowth from 32 Boys One Cup. And
Parting expected it. And he still like
struggled.
lose out. Yeah, he would either lose or like struggle super hard and only barely win. And Lilbow has not been walling off the main ramp. I would call it the main gate. The main ramp either, which is usually like one of the easiest ways to at least help yourself defend against it. So.
Yeah. But once again, we see Solar go for 3 base before pool. This time it's actually, oh sorry, I thought it was going to be 3 base gas before pool. I was going to say it is actually getting greener and greener as we go. But still, for a little bit of sake, I mean, maybe not comfortable with cannon rushing, maybe doesn't want to take that risk, whatever the case may be. Solar got away with this pretty badly last game, but still didn't win. I mean, really, that could not have been a more solid opener for a Zerg player on Deadwing.
Yeah. But then, you know, he chose to do, like, that attack that he did on, like, to Lilbow, that one big attack that was pretty much only one attack in the game. Yeah, there's only one of them, I guess. That was on, like, Deadwing, right? So, Deadwing, it's all connected. 3 bases, 4 bases even, are all connected. They're, you know, the Blink Stalkers can technically run around pretty easily in their own 4 bases. So, Lilbow had amazing defense. You know, like you said it, he had the tools to have an amazing defense, but it was, like, that skill, too, like, have the right units in perfect positioning and like actually buy time to get those cannons on that. But it also had a lot to do with, like, I think the map being just easy to do that on.
Yeah, that linear base pathing is definitely a big deal. Because here it's not. You've got 2 different back entrances.
Yeah. Perfect example. Like, imagine the same situation on this map. Like, all of the rocks broken down for Solar, and Lilbow has to defend all 3 points on this map against mutas. Like, that sounds a lot more dangerous than on Deadwing, so... Maybe Solar, that wasn't the best map to do mutas on, or at least that type of attack with mutas. Maybe if it was more like, let me just harass the mutas while going up to Infestors or the Hive, I don't know, that would have been better than just trying to do that attack that actually seemed to, well, fizzle out and cause them to lose the game.
So the Lynx actually didn't die for a probe. I was kind of expecting that to happen, but I guess you could try and keep these alive, have them escape outwards. First blood. Yeah, Stalker's going to kill 1. Just barely gonna miss the gateways coming down. He's actually very dedicatedly trying to snipe overlords too, which is kind of cool. Really shutting Solar down from vision, but at the same time, I didn't realize Zealot chasing this queen. It's like Pepe Le Pew chasing that little cat. Sadly, the queen will live. You know, I always forget that Zealots can kill queens. Like 1-on-1, it just doesn't seem like it should happen. But
ooh, that's a lot of gateways. Very quickly.
Not just that, but like the positioning of this. Solar's supposed to scout this in the main. This is such a smart move. It looks so silly and dumb, but 8 gateways have been completely hidden from Solar's vision. Yeah. And I mean, this was a big part of picking off that Overlord earlier. Yeah,
I was gonna say, if that Overlord is still there, he'd be trying to fit it in somewhere, probably the main, and that maybe would have been scouted. This is absolutely perfect, and Solar, well, he doesn't have too good of an idea. He also doesn't know about the natural gases, so he can't really say anything from there either. Yeah. But he is getting units. He's getting a spine crawler. He says, I think, that something is up, although he's not quite sure what.
Yeah, he's definitely suspicious because he cut drones, and this is a big deal for someone who sailed their way to 70 workers last time. But I don't think this necessarily makes it any easier. Yes, there's a spine crawler coming down, but it really should be like 3. And yes, there's roaches on the way, but is it going to be enough?
Yeah.
I mean, this is such a this is a big amount of gateways.
Yeah, but there's a difference again for this map. Not too many like super abusable spots for force fields. You know, like the hatchery doesn't help out that much. If you walk down this ramp, you are going into a concave. Yeah. We'll see what Lilbow can do.
Well, I think one of the scariest things is Lilbow can force field off that natural ramp. That's going to cut out 2 hatcheries with the reinforcements. Not going to be the biggest deal at the start of the fight, but as the fight rages on, it's going to become more and more important to do this.
Spinecrawler helps out a little bit. Speed's about to finish as well.
Queen from earlier is still alive. I would love if this fight ended and she was the last one standing. Link's going to dive in. They got that speed boost. Not enough force to keep these at bay. Zal's going to help out with this a little bit, but Lilbow can't get too dedicated. The Mothership Core is already being chipped away at. If he loses this, there's no chance to fall back.
Nice control on Solar's part, making sure those things aren't wasted on much of Zealots. The Spinecrawler still lives and it's adding so much damage. Lilbow should get destroyed.
He just took a bad engagement there. I mean, walking into the Spinecrawler on creep. I mean, if he had waited for, I think, 3 more sentries, he probably could have taken a better warp in, like, to aid that fight, but good game's going to be called, and sad to see him go in such a lackluster finale. But Solar will advance to the semifinals, and Lilbow will sadly fall out of the tournament. But